Let the games begin. Glad you're all here. Appreciate it on this nice day. I don't see anybody connecting through Zoom, but with Zoom, I can do a record of the meeting, which Pat had that senior moment. Pat said would help when she's doing her minutes, that she could go back and hear what Doug had to say. Sherry, you've got a new resident to recognize for us. Dorothy Matthews from the pavilion. Welcome. And when I was introduced to her over there by her neighbor Martha, she said she just doesn't have her red slippers, so that she'll help me remember that it's Dorothy. Oh. All right, so she's right there in the center in the ring. Glad you came, Dorothy. Maybe you can bring some friends the next time. Any other new residents that Sherry didn't see? All right, then we'll go on with Sandra Harana for our treasurer's report.
I believe you have copies of the treasurer's report. There's extras up here. Oh, sorry. There's extra copies of the treasurer's report up on this table if anybody didn't get one and wants one. We started off the month with $12,228.11. Oh, seeing myself on the screen is weird.
Look out there.
Sorry. We had income of $191.25 from the cash and carry. Expenses $626.76, leaving us a total of $11,792.64. Today I went to the bank and I deposited another $256, so we're above 12,000 now. Any questions? Very good. I'm done.
Next, spiritual life, Bobby.
We have several deaths since our last RA meeting. Rebecca Slate was in healthcare, and Virginia Shaw in healthcare, and she was Crystal Pittman's mom, which most of you probably knew that. Dwayne Ogden, and he was in healthcare and been here approximately 4 years up in healthcare. And a morning-in-law, my sister who died early Tuesday morning, she was in Kennedy Court and then healthcare.
And Bill's.
And please keep Bill in your prayers. Who's here?
Bill.
Yeah, keep Bill in your prayers, and the boys and the family, please. And Mary Wicken died just Saturday, I think the 12th. Was that Saturday? Yeah, the 12th. And she had been here quite a while. She lived on Schuler Circle where Kathleen lives now. And then she moved to healthcare, and then I think she had a little bit of memory care in there, but I think she got put back in healthcare toward the end. Nelson, would you have any idea how long Mary had been here?
Nelson.
Or Elaine, do either one of y'all? Oh, okay, well, we're thinking about 12 years, 12 to 13 years. I didn't know, and I didn't have to find out really. And then health concerns, like I said, keep building in our family and your prayers, please, because it was kind of sudden in a way, because she seemed like she was rallying, and then, you know, she didn't. So anyway, if you would. And Elspeth Turner is still in healthcare, I believe, in rehab.
No, she's home.
Is she home? Oh, great. I didn't know that. That's wonderful. And what about Nell Carrick? She was in healthcare, rehab.
She's back home.
She's back home. Okay, yeah, hey, I get to tell some good news. And Ellen has finished all her treatments, and we're glad to see her. Yay, that's good news. And while I'm up here, I'm going to ask, what do you call poet license, to thank everyone for all that you did for me as far as cards and prayers during my COVID short episode, which I was thankful that was very short, but I'm also most thankful that Chuck did not get it. And that was what I was worried about more than myself. And then also thank you for your cards and prayers and food and concerns when Morning passed away. And that was very comforting. We just have such a caring, comforting family here. And if anything happens to you, you will find that out real quick, because they just rallied around me for the past month was not my best month of my life with COVID and losing my sister. But anyway, y'all are just a blessing. Thank you. Thank you. Now, the residents that have moved, or Dorothea's moved in, we've already mentioned that. Bill has moved from 502 Kennedy Court to 124 Pavilion. And then Ray and Mary Ann Hepler, I should know that. That's a Thomasville name. They've moved up here to the veranda B in 1221. And Priscilla Everhart moved to 35 in the pavilion. Is that all? Sure. And is that all? Okay. And so that's all I have, and I was glad I got to say some cheerful things. Yes, not just this. Thank you. Anybody have a question?
I think that's something for Penny in marketing, that it's hard to share what the community is like. You said it very well. David Burrow for outreach.
I'm just glad you didn't call me right after Nelson.
Oh, because I forgot Nelson.
Well, I'm glad you didn't remember. Well, I'm glad to report that after a slow January and a big December, our monetary collections for Fairgrove Resource Center for February, yes, Bobby and Chuck collected $1,134. In addition to that, Joe Carpenter, Arlene Crane, Eugenia Holsty collected 982 food items from the gallery. And Joe Carpenter made the delivery this month because of the COVID issue with Bobby. That same on the February 25th, we served 35 meals at CCM. And team number 3 did the serving. It was Pat Rich, Joe Carpenter, Dot Elliott, Ira Buckaloo, Eugenia Holsty, and Gene Thompson. And this month of March, team number 2 will serve. That's the Flick Circle team. And Ann and Ron Stroop have generously agreed to supply the main course. On February the 28th, the sandwich crew made 96 sandwiches. The crew consisted of Kathleen Olive, Betty Tucker, Jane Ryerson, Priscilla Joyce, and Bobby Rivers, and Gene Thompson's procured all the materials, and Ira delivered them. In March, the Family Resource Center collection will be on the 25th at 10 o'clock. CCM Meals of Grace will be at 6 p.m. and there again, team number 2. And on the 28th, again, sandwiches will be made in the kitchen. A couple of other things. Remember, next Tuesday is Recycle Day. Everybody, I think, has a handle on this Tuesday switch from Wednesday. And so far, everything's going fine at the landfill. So thank you. The cornhole board is back. I know there was great concern.
Yes, we thought it was stolen.
You have to still on 2 different trees.
Well, I noticed that David didn't say I also missed the minutes, so let's do that next. The minutes have been provided on the portal and through the email that I sent late last night. Do you want us to read the minutes or? There's cheering from the crowd. Beverly suggests. Okay, she suggests that we dispense of the reading of the minutes because they have been provided, and Lane seconded it. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Thank you. They've been dispensed. Yes, and Pat appreciates not having to read 3 pages. And you appreciate not hearing them. Nelson, you ready? While he's coming up, my sister Elaine from Ohio visited. And before she left this morning, we stopped over at the Wellers because Elaine knew I had a sister Elaine. My sister is Elaine Catherine. She's Elaine Catherine, but she's with a K. My sister's with a C. So it was a fun reunion or meeting.
You're not supposed to use ethnic jokes anymore, but it's St. Patty's Day. And that requires Irish jokes. Sorry. Those of you who have Irish blood, you'll have to forgive me. I brought 2 of them even. An Irishman goes to his doctor. After the exam, the doctor says, "You have some problems with your heart, but if you take these tablets, I think it will be okay." So the doctor gives the man the tablets and the patient asks, "Do I have to take them every day?" "No," said the doctor. "Take one on Monday and skip on Tuesday, then take one on Wednesday and skip on Thursday, and go on like that." 2 weeks later, the doctor is walking down the street and he sees the patient's wife. "Oh, hello, Mrs. Murphy. How is your husband?" "Oh, he died of a heart attack," Mrs. Murphy sighed. "I'm very sorry to hear that," said the doctor. "I thought if he took those pills, he would be all right." "Oh, the tablets were fine," said Mrs. Murphy. "It was all that bloody skipping that did him in." Dr. O'Reilly told his patients, I have bad news and I have worse news for you, John. Oh dear, John replies, what's the bad news? The doctor replies, you only have 24 hours to live. That's terrible, said John. How can there possibly be worse news than that? Dr. John O'Reilly replies, I've been trying to contact you for the last 24 hours.
Bada bing. That's worth the price of admission. Next, Norca.
I would have to follow him. Goodness, follow David.
I know you have noticed those white flags coming down Service Road. Well, that is a project that our beautification committee talked about 2 years ago. And I want to recognize our beautification committee because you may have forgotten. Ann and Ron Stroop, Larry and Nancy Norman, Linda Poole, and Mary Dullard, and myself. Well, what we've done, we have gotten a grant from the Campus Enrichment Funds of $4,000. They have recognized that. And so it has already started in progress. And so it will be beautiful when it's finished. But of course, everything's behind, but that's what it is for. So yes, and most of us use the service road. That's okay. Also in your mailbox this week, I put a paper. Some are pink, some are yellow, some are blue, some are white. And what it is, it said, attention, new residents, and you're one of them, and also non-members of Norcross. And I'm thanking our Norcross members for talking to somebody, talking to your neighbor. I want you to talk to somebody that's not a member of Norcross. Now, the article on the very front page, it deserves to be read again. I'm gonna read it to you. Norcross is your representation at state government in Raleigh. Over the past several years, Norcross has successfully worked to help protect your medical expense deduction, making it permanent now. In recent years, Norcross members participated in a successful effort to stop CMS from imposing a bed tax on skilled nursing facilities. And currently, Norcross is working to limit state sales tax on residents' monthly fees. That's a biggie. So your membership matters. So please encourage someone you know and new members to join Norcross, and the applications are right there. Any questions?
Checks made out too.
Checks made out too. Yes. Norcross. Okay. Not me. No, not me. That doesn't need to go in my bank account. Thank you.
Thank you, and thank you to the beautification committee and the recycling committee and all the volunteers that are sitting out here today. Cash and carry. This is available at Cash and Carry. What it says for? You could turn it this way. If you need a sun blocker, and it's getting to be that time, this is now available at Cash and Carry for the mere price of $3. Oh gosh, somebody scribbled on the wall over here.
Does it say call somebody?
Not in any language I know. Social, Beverly? Can I say it from here? Is there one? Yeah.
Can everybody hear me? Okay, we are not gonna have covered dish this month, but we're working toward trying to have it next month. I know that'll make a lot of people happy, some not so happy. So, but anyway, that's what we're trying to work on now, so hopefully, maybe. Okay.
And Matthew, let's see, and. oh. No, let's see. Did Ed Landis, you're here. Ed is stepping down as the rep for the pavilion. So we're looking for someone there. I called someone, but that person had been in the hospital.
I don't see our new representative anywhere. So I do not have a report on our new members because I was leaving that up to him to do. The only thing I would do as a member of the independent living area is I'm looking forward to the time that we can have some good food like we used to have.
Got it. Oh. Brand, like,
I don't have very much. Bobby has already mentioned that the Heifers are moving in, getting situated. We're also losing a member, resident here. Neil Carrick will be moving to the pavilion. And she's pretty much not getting ready for that now. So we hate to lose her. But it's a gain for the pavilion. And that's it.
did you remind her of cash and carry?
Pardon?
Did you remind her of cash and carry?
The new resident.
No. She's got too much.
She is very much aware of it.
Marcia, she's already donated, so they've been sold already.
All right. What the voice of the treasurer said over here is now it's already put several things over there and they sold. So that's good. So I guess you have to hang out at cash and carry and see what comes in. Jeweler Circle, Randall?
I don't have much either. I think most of our folks, all of them who've had some illnesses or health issues are on the mend and see some of them out and about more. And we're glad that I'm not seeing any new issues.
Thank you. Brenda Miller?
We do have one vacancy, as Bobby said, that's it.
The locks apartment is now available and it's under renovation, and I understand that it may be spoken for already. Gallery, we have a new rep for the gallery. Doris Stocks has not been well, so she has stepped down, and in her place is Eugenia Olsen.
I don't know, is that the real-
Well, then would you stand up so they know who you are?
Thank you, Regina.
Thank you. Frank Circle, Diane?
Just a quick mention that we did have some of our residents move, as you're aware, Ed and Eva Smith moved to the pavilion. We have some Smiths moving back into that unit. Do we know when they're going to be moving in?
They, were going to go ahead and move in, but he had a fall, and he's been in the hospital and had hip surgery.
Oh, my goodness.
So, they're moving on March 24th.
Okay. March 24th, we'll have the name.
New Smiths.
New Smith. One other thing, we did have a group of ladies from Frank Circle meet a couple of weeks ago to plan some activities for the remainder of this year. Right now, what we have planned is a covered dish on May the 14th. So hopefully other things will stem from that.
Also related to the Smith property, there at the corner of Schuler Circle, yeah, Federick. With the new fence going in, I've confirmed it's not a chicken coop. We're going to have, it's gonna be vinyl clad, it's gonna have the posts, it's gonna look like the other things, but in the meantime, while we're waiting for the supply chain to work, it is what it is, so just be aware, it'll be up to our standards soon. Jamie, she says,
They have that chicken coop around, that chicken wire around it because they have a dog.
yeah,
And that's going in between the fence, so it gets to the.
it's red. Beverly's explaining that they're also going to have that fencing, the wire, the mesh up because it is a small leg dog that might be able to slip through the rails.
The rails when they get the final ones up.
Is there any other village words of wisdom? Then under old business, parking at the pavilion for residents. I have found a company, or the company that I'd looked at in 2019. I'm going to be ordering new stickers that hopefully will adhere well to the cars so we can know who's legitimate and who's not legitimate for parking there. And I don't want to be the only parking sheriff, so help yourself. There's a clipboard on the desk in the pavilion on the front desk where you can record if you know that there's someone who doesn't belong there, that they can have a little pass or warning that you can put on their windshield, and that's attached to the back of the clipboard. Cross trainer. The other day, I tried to use the elliptical and it said it was a bike. So I contacted Blair, not our former Blair here, but Blair for Compam. And she got right back to me and said she thought that the sticker on the front had been changed. She came by on Monday and confirmed, even though it says it's a cardio bike, it's really the elliptical. So now I guess I have no excuse. I can go use it again. If you recall, when we were trained on this back in the fall, you can go to the Compam webpage, download an app, have it on your phone, put your phone on the device, you scan the QR code that's there, and it will record what you've done and how long you've done it, what your resistance is, and you can change the resistance. And that also works on the bikes too. So let's get out there, the weather's good. Under new business, through the board, we've had a request that we show movies on an afternoon for those people who don't feel comfortable coming out after dark. So if there's anyone who's interested in taking that on, let me know. And the request was also to include popcorn. So like our Friday night movie, but they would like an offering in the afternoon that we could check with Sherry to find out what day of the month would be good and who would like to be in charge of that. So I'm looking for a volunteer. I had another new business item, but I see Bob Szymanski's here, so I'll let Bob come up and talk about Mr. Kilborn, and then we'll get to the other. Turn it on.
She invited me just so I thought maybe I should take up an invitation. No, not the collection, but an invitation. But Marcia said, and I feel bad, I don't want to just come when I want something, and I don't need anything from you, but I'm just letting you know. There's still spaces available for Ed Kilborn next week. Come to the concert, even if you didn't sign up for the rest of the thing. He's a lot of fun on Sunday night at 6:30 up in Unity Place. And then the program that I would like you to reserve for, so I can plan to feed you, make reservations. You can talk to me or do it through the portal, but there's still some spots open, and I won't, there's not enough to turn anybody away. So if you haven't signed up, come and join us. We've got it's pretty full. It's been a great response. So thank you for wanting to come. But if you haven't done it yet, sign up now.
It's good.
And he's good.
He is good. A friend of mine who comes down from Connecticut was able to participate in it in 2 years, and she's just sorry that the timing didn't work out for her to come again this year for that. All right. Any other new business? Okay, Sherry, you have things to tell us?
Well, I'm happy to do a movie if y'all tell me what date. Not all days are available each month, they change, but I'm happy to do the movie.
And
Yeah.
make popcorn.
And make popcorn. For those of you in exercise this morning, I gave you all the activities, but I failed to include bingo. We have bingo tomorrow at 2. And then of course here, and our party will be in here 2 o'clock on Thursday, St. Patrick's Day party.
Wearing over the green. All right, thank you. Penny. Marketing.
A lot of you have already covered a lot of the things that I was going to talk about. We do have Ray and Mary Ann Hepler in 221 Veranda. Nell Carrick will be moving to 134 Pavilion. Her 2-bedroom veranda has been spoken for. We had a depositor that has spoke for that. We did get a new application today for the pavilion. His name is George Stringer. He will move in probably the next 45 days, pending his approval for his application. 502 Kennedy Court, which we have talked about, there's a depositor for that unit as well. That unit should be ready in about 4 weeks. We didn't have to do a lot in there, so we didn't have to wait on a lot for the supply chain. A lot of you have asked me about vacant units and how many depositors we have. Vacant units, after the one that I got today for the pavilion, we have 3 units available on this campus, 229 and 225 Pavilion and 101 Gallery. The wait list for villas and cottages, as of now, we have 16 people on the wait list for a villa and cottage. 1-bedroom patio home, we have 2. 2-bedroom patio home, we have 6 depositors. Veranda B, 1-bedroom, we have 2. Veranda B, 2-bedroom, we have 4. And I have 2 depositors for a 2-bedroom pavilion. So that is a total of 32 depositors that are waiting to get into Piedmont Crossing. On to new things. We have partnered with the High Toms baseball team. I told you the last PCRA meeting that we were going to partner with the High Toms baseball team. We're going to get general admission season tickets for the residents here to go to any baseball game that you want to go. There's more information to come on that. We will have an outboard billboard sign, a concourse sign, live stream commercials with them. Piedmont Crossing, there will be sponsorship nights that we will go and have tables set up and give information packets and promo items. And every inning, nightly recognition over their PA system. In April, in your mailbox is coming soon. It's going to be an April event. It's going to be the latter part of April. We're going to have a block party for our depositors and residents with food and music. And then in May, we have partnered with Novant and Thomasville Medical Center. They're going to hold an event here in Unity Place called Gathering of Warriors. It's Memorial Day weekend on Saturday, May the 28th, and it's for veterans and their spouses to come. There will approximately be 125 people in attendance. We do have a list of veterans that here on campus, but if you, maybe we can compare, because I don't want to leave anybody out, but you'll get more information on that to come. There will be speakers. There will be people here from Washington, D.C. There will be military that will be opening doors, seating people. So it's going to be a pretty big event for Memorial Day weekend. They're going to have a choir, a pianist, and everything. So it's going to be a pretty big event. It will be from 5 to 7 on May the 28th. Heavy hors d'oeuvres, coffee, tea, water. Any questions?
Aaron here mentioned a pianist. Sherry, when is it that Kelly and Joanne are coming? 29th of March. Kelly Newsom is the organist, pianist, choir director, administrative assistant et al. At First Lutheran Church where Jeff and I go, and he's phenomenal. So come for his music, and Joanne's. All right, Nancy Beard, I say you're up in the bullpen, ready.
Well, you know, it's kind of tight back there, so I had to get up while I could. It feels really good to take this mask off for a moment. Let me tell you, it's so good to see so many faces that I haven't seen in like 2 years. It's like, oh yeah, I remember you. Yeah, you look good. Mine is, I forget to put my lipstick on now because I haven't worn lipstick and I always wore lipstick. So, I wanted to share a few things with you. We did a lunch and learn today, so it's always fun to meet new residents here and be able to talk about the foundation and the work that we do. Thank you, Beverly, for delivering the invitations and for hosting. We do those twice a year, so we will do one again in 6 months. I wanted to say the foundation is happy to support the Vacation Bible School. Bob actually invited me to come last time and I came for one morning and I thought, Vacation Bible School for adults? Okay, I'm not quite sure, but wow, was that fun. And I actually became Facebook friends then with the Kilborns, and it's like, they're really cool people who do really great things. So I'm sorry that I can't come next week, but I know you're all gonna have a great time. I wanted to share just a little bit of information about campus enrichment and how that works. We have a campus enrichment fund on each campus. Each year, our Board of Trustees votes to give 10% of the fund to that campus. So the campus enrichment funds are funded primarily from when people pass away, they leave a legacy gift and they restrict it to campus enrichment. So at Piedmont Crossing, that fund has $85,520. So that means that at Piedmont Crossing, that gift this year was $8,552. At Abernathy Laurels, they have $278,000, and at Lake Prince Woods, they have $662,000. So that's why the difference is between all the money. I know someone contacted me and said, why does Lake Prince Woods get all the money? Well, it's because they had some very large legacy gifts that built that up. So each year they have about $60-some thousand to spend. We are doing a capital campaign right now at Lake Prince Woods. We launched it in October to raise $1 million. And I'm happy to say we're ahead of schedule there. We are at about $750,000 for a new health and wellness area there. So that's a lot of fun. We've got a philanthropy luncheon going on at the end of this month. Many of you came for 3 years. We did the philanthropy luncheon in Lexington. How many of you came to those when we honored people? It was so much fun. So we did it for 3 years here. We are just finishing up our 3rd year in Catawba County, and surprisingly, we've been able to hold it each year just because we had that timing of when COVID was down or whatever. But I wanted to share with you for this luncheon where we're honoring our healthcare direct line workers. That's who we're honoring this year there. I created a video and I interviewed team members at Abernathy Laurels about what it was like working to keep our residents safe during COVID. And I can't wait to share that with everybody. We'll share it the 1st of April with anybody who wants to see it. But it's a very moving piece because our staff really and truthfully have a little PTSD from what all they went through trying to keep people safe. They're worn out, they worked hard, and it was really, I'm honored and humbled to have been given that project to do. So all I can say is when you see our direct care workers, please please thank them for what they've done for the last few years, because they've put in a lot of time and extra effort. We've got the 18th annual golf tournament coming up. Do we have any golfers here? Anybody who wants to come be part of a fun golf tournament, it's at Rock Barn Country Club. You often sponsor a tee for that, and we're always appreciative of that, and hope you'll join us this year. So this will be our 18th annual. Sherry and I talked yesterday, and we're going to offer a tour again from here to Lexington. So for anybody who wants to see what our low-income housing is like, what a PACE program is like, which is a program of all-inclusive care for the elderly, for people who are nursing home eligible but want to stay in their home. So we will leave here on May the 17th, probably around 10 o'clock. Go over there, visit both programs. We will go into somebody's apartment. We'll sit down and have a chat with them about what it's like to live there. And then we will have lunch while we're over there too. So I hope you'll join us. It's an eye-opening experience to see our PACE program, but it also helps you to see that you're part of something much bigger than just Piedmont Crossing. Last time we took toiletries with them, and they were so appreciated. So I would say if anybody wants to donate toiletries for us to take on your behalf, please do. It's anything from a bar of soap to dishwashing detergent to laundry soap to that very special toilet paper towel. We have a lady at Lake Prince Woods who actually made toilet paper earrings during COVID. She gifted me with a pair. I don't wear them very often, but she does like to see me wearing them. So I try to remember to pack them when I go there. Also wanted to, what came up from the Lunch and Learn today is, now that hopefully you're going to be able to travel again, I want you to remember we have the Passport for Travel program through our association with the Council for Health and Human Service Ministries. You go through Penny to do that application. You have an opportunity to go stay at some really fine places free of charge. You can take your spouse, you can take a family member, you can take a grandchild, whomever you want. But the places you can go visit and stay free of charge, and typically the CEO will have dinner with you one night while you're there. You're going to meet really cool people, and you can be part of anything that's going on their campus. So they are located in Ohio, Missouri, Arizona, Michigan, Wisconsin, New Hampshire, Washington State, Pennsylvania, Illinois, and Tennessee. And for those of you who know me, you know I'm a big supporter of the one in Seattle. So if you're dying to go to Seattle, go to that one, because it's a high rise in downtown Seattle that any of us would be real happy to live in. So to be able to go there and know you could stay 2 weeks is really pretty nice. Last, I wanted to share, we are updating all our marketing materials. This information booklet on the foundation was created during COVID when we couldn't get in front of people, but we wanted to share information. So it is out to be reprinted, but I have quite a few copies here. I didn't want to throw away today, but we'll leave them out on the desk. If you want to pick one up, the information is all still good, but I'll be bringing all the new ones soon. So that's all I have, but it's great to see such a great crowd here today. Did everybody see the annual report? I just happen to have some copies. Sherry, will you get me the annual report out of my bag back there in one of those blue folders? The annual report, I'm really proud of our organization because we are one of the few nonprofits that still creates an annual report. And if you've ever done any kind of marketing work, you know what goes into something like this. It is a ton of work for us. But it's great bedtime reading. So if you have insomnia tonight, pick this up, because this tells you who we are at every age and what we do and how we make a difference in the lives of so many people. The front part is all about every age. The back part is all about Every Age Foundation. So incredibly proud of this, always proud to show it off. And I happen to have some extra copies, so I'll have those out on the table too. Thank you.
just a PS to add to her comment about the enrichment, campus enrichment fund. So if you make a donation personally to the foundation in honor or memory of someone, be sure and write on the bottom line, campus enrichment fund. So that maybe ours will grow too. That's my advertisement. Next is Doug.
Good afternoon, everybody. You know, and I will add, we mentioned the philanthropy luncheons that we had a couple of years ago, and those of you went may recall we honored Boyce Sink. In memory, I suppose is the right term there. But his wife recently just passed away last week. And Ron Sink, their son, called and was asking the particulars of how to give money to Piedmont Crossing. And basically what I told him was the very same thing, is that if they had a definite cause, they could do that. But in lieu of that, to designate it to Piedmont Crossing. So in their obituary and everything, they have asked that. In fact, apparently he was telling me the story, his brother, a vendor, came in and wrote a check for $1,000. So it's like, you know, it's word of mouth, but it's a good word of mouth on that. The veranda and the infrastructure are both in the process of getting quotes on. And you get these weird questions, such as today, we got an email wanting to know if we had panic hardware in this room. And the best I can tell, we don't have panic hardware. So that will be something else we'll have to put into bids. But as you do these upgrades, you got to bring things up to code. So I'm sure sometime in the last 20 years, the building code has been amended to require, to my knowledge, panic hardware just boils down to being able to push open the door and go out in case of fire. But those are the kind of questions we're getting about every other day. Some I understand and some I don't, but thankfully I've got Tim Crook. Okay, now I need to clarify. Ginger. She will spend money quicker than I can get it, okay? We have requested $4,000, and actually I added to that a little bit, okay? And the foundation has approved $8,532 for this year's campus enrichment grant. But Beverly Lancer will have to present that to the foundation to get their proper approval. My guess is she doesn't even know about it yet. Okay, so you know, I'm thankful for the beautification committee, and you know, we've had a lot of good conversations. But when I'm talking to Ginger, it's like, well, we can do this, and we can do this, and we can do this, and somewhere in there, she did say $4,000, and I'm thankful that part sunk in. Okay.
She wanted the whole 85.
Oh yeah, he did. And as I say, it's a good thing, but we do have to get proper approval before we start spending that. I believe that's pretty much what I got. Any questions?
How's staffing?
Staffing is improving. In fact, I was a few minutes late because I was in orientation. We actually had 12 folks in orientation today. Yeah, very good. We've got a new admissions director. We've hired a number 2 person in the kitchen, and his name is Tim Pavlik. And many years ago, Tim was director of food services at Santa Clara, and actually spent some time here before he left. So, and I'm real impressed with him, but he can remember residents we've got in healthcare that used to be Santa Clara residents, and what they like to eat, what they didn't like to eat. Okay. I'll share that when we interviewed him, you have different questions, but he shared a story that he had a resident, now we're talking about skilled nursing, he had a resident who just wasn't eating. And so he went to her and says, well, what would you like to eat? Okay. And she said, I would like some deer stew. Well, now he can name the maintenance guy who brought him some deer venison, and made that stew and gave it to her, and she ate it all up and passed away the next day. Okay, no connection to the stew. Okay, don't go there. Okay, I know that because I did the same thing. Okay, but no, I had nothing. But she was end of life and really wasn't eating, and so her last meal was what she wanted to eat. And to me, that's the kind of folks we need around here. So. But he should be online shortly. I say there were 2 cooks, a couple other dietary. We're coming along. We've got new faces in different positions, because we've been so on a skeleton. People have been wearing 2 or 3 hats. Jan, for example, has been doing the missions. Okay, so we're getting back to where we want to be, but it's going to be, my guess, a 2 steps forward and 1 step backward kind of progress from that standpoint. Now I forgot, was another question? Okay. Ed.
We all lived in various communities before coming here. If we had a health issue, somebody either drove you to the emergency room or you went by ambulance. Once you got to the emergency room, they assessed your problem, they put you in cardio, ICU, regular hospital bed or whatever. So here's my question. If we all live long enough, we probably will go up to the big house. And then we've got assisted living, skilled care, and memory care. So what happens when we go up to that area?
Okay. To go to skilled nursing and memory care is just a section within our skilled nursing. Okay, so the qualifications are that you basically need 24-hour nursing care. Okay, so when you've reached that point and your activities of daily living where you require assistance with a number of them, then that becomes the criteria. And a long story short, I would say is where you couldn't function at home without assistance. Okay, and it varies. Okay, Ed, you and your wife, you may deteriorate, but your wife may be in a position that she can help you. Okay, for example, dementia. Maybe you could stay at home if we put some type of lock on the interior of your door to keep you from wandering. Okay, so I think the answer to your question depends on the circumstance. My mom and dad lived with me 10 years. They lived downstairs. Our first step was to get home care for them. And then as their need for that home care increased, as my dad's Parkinson worsened to where my mom didn't want to be responsible for him, that's when we reached the decision that they need a higher level of care. And even then, my dad went to skilled nursing. And I remember yesterday, we took him on the tour and he's looking around. So I'm the one that's going to be in skilled nursing. Okay. He didn't realize the need, and it's been a good thing. My mom started off in assisted living, lived there 2 years, but she became where she did less for herself. She needed help getting in and out of her recliner, going to the restroom. And ultimately she fell, and she didn't hurt anything but her pride and had a little hematoma, but it reached the point that she too needed skilled nursing. So, the time or the decision varies based on the circumstance, but it's where you can't do for yourself and you don't have in-home assistance. And then at that point, time becomes when you make that move. Did that come where in there answer your question? Okay. Ed, I got too many Eds. Okay.
I came here almost 5 years ago. When I came here for 2.5 years, I bragged and bragged and bragged about the food. I no longer can do that. It's time for us to forget about the virus and go back to what we were paid for. We need different foods. And they don't, today, every day I have a salad, like potato salad, chicken salad, whatever it is. I ask for onions to put in it. We don't have any. Well,
Yeah.
finally, someone said to me that I talked with, well, we've got onions. Well, then why can't I have some? I think it's time for us to forget about the virus and go back to what we had when we first came here and for what we're paying for. Tonight, I am sick and tired of scrambled eggs. I don't know about the rest of you. But it's time that we got what we're paying for.
Ed, have you
Or
asked for
food
something
is
besides,
concerned.
have you asked for breakfast? I assume you're talking about breakfast on
I
scrambled eggs.
can't hear you.
Have you asked for anything beyond scrambled eggs for breakfast? Because we have other options.
Oh, we do? Someone gave me an option.
You
And I
know,
went into the line and they looked at that and they said, we don't do that.
don't do what, Ed?
That we don't follow that option. You have to take what we've got.
What
on the line.
option? Okay, Ed, you know, I'll be more than happy to, I eat lunch in there today. And I had the fish. And I walked around and talked to the residents in the hearth, and I can tell you the cheesecake was very popular.
Well, I know that was.
Okay.
Yes.
And
I'm
it's,
talking about real food.
okay, I had the fish today. My suggestion, because last month you were very complimentary, Ed, okay, about the food. My suggestion
Telling
is,
a lie, because that's not what they're
Okay.
telling me.
yeah, I was here last month and listened to you, but what I suggest is this, Ed,
I think it's time for us to get our money's worth. We're paying for good food, and we're paying for food that we can choose from a list. And it was the best food I'd ever eaten when I first came here. And I think it's time now that we're getting our money's worth with our food. And ask some of these people who come and eat lunch over there at noon what they think of the food. I'm tired of it.
anything else, Ed? I don't want to interrupt you. And my suggestion would
See,
be,
they're not answering, they're not even talking to you about it, but they sure talk to other people about it.
and my suggestion would be to let Lori Rocky sit down with pavilion residents to get their feedback. One of the reasons I walked in this morning, and I went to every table, was to get feedback. And one person asked me who made the cheesecake, and I told him I did. Okay. You know, and I
There's some
appreciate,
sitting right here who are complaining, but they're not going to say it in front of the group.
and I appreciate your comments, and I will arrange for Lori to meet with the pavilion residents. Okay? Anything else?
And the new fella's coming.
Yeah, he'll be here within a couple weeks, yeah, yeah.
All right. Do we have a new business manager?
Yes. Kelly King is our new business office manager. She started about a week and a half ago. She's already been to the home office to get training there. You know, stop by and see Kelly. I think Kelly is right. She's been in this business, served as business office manager, and it really has amazed me how quickly she's caught on to things. I mean, she's been in the business. She understands the Medicare qualifying requirements and stuff like that. So stop in and see her. I'll be glad to even set something up if you tell me what you want set up from that standpoint.
Did you know anything about Mitzi coming to coffee hour? Or is that for Sherry?
That's for me. Mitzi will be here in the morning at men's coffee, and she will be here Thursday morning for the ladies' coffee. So if you have any questions for home care, be sure and come to coffee this week.
Anything else for me? Thank you.
Thank you. According to the clock, we have a minute. Don't want to waste it. Anybody have anything else? I'll read it there. We're going to Italy on Monday. See you in a week. Oh, Monday.